Hi, I'm Ralph Santitoro at the MEF annual meeting in Toronto, and I'd like to talk to you about SD-WAN. The MEF, as it's evolved from carrier Ethernet to many new types of services today, in particular SD-WAN, the capabilities of the MEF, because of our large service provider base, and what we've done with carrier Ethernet, we're now replicating that success for SD-WAN managed services in particular. Some of those successes are, if you look back about a decade, carrier Ethernet was called by many names. It was called Metro Ethernet, Optical Ethernet, lots of different terms. And so there was no standard terminology. So we had this issue between buyers and sellers of these carrier Ethernet or Metro Ethernet services. The MEF is doing that now with SD-WAN, where now we're going to standardize the terminology so that now buyers and sellers can have an intelligent conversation, as well as the standard functionality that a managed service should provide. So when you're talking to service provider A, service provider B as a buyer, for example, or a service provider talking to an enterprise as the seller of the service, or even a vendor talking to a service provider, they can now use the same terminology and mean the same thing, and so there can be an understanding between the different parties. So the MEF recently introduced a new white paper on SD-WAN managed services, and what we wanted to do was introduce the market on the new work that the MEF is doing as part of the new SD-WAN Market Education Committee. The paper actually works on 3 different areas that the industry is lacking in right now. One is standardized terminology for an SD-WAN managed service, and also the functionality that an SD-WAN managed service has to provide. And the paper also covers use cases, very popular use cases for hybrid WAN, as well as using internet, multiple ISPs, et cetera. And this paper actually covers the standardized terminology, as I mentioned. So now this enables buyers and sellers of SD-WAN services to be able to have an effective communication in describing what they want to buy or what they're selling. And this has been lacking in the industry for quite a long time. The other piece that we're doing is a webinar on August 9th that will walk through the capabilities of the paper, the terminology, the use cases, and how this fits into the LSO Reference Architecture. So we look forward to seeing you at the webinar on August 9th.